Welcome to our deep dive into AI research. You've given us quite a bit to work with here. Over 380 new papers on arXiv just in the last 24 hours.
Yeah, it's a lot to sift through.
It really is. And that's our challenge today, to find those golden nuggets, the most noteworthy trends, the breakthroughs, the things that are really going to shape the future of AI.
It's like panning for gold. You have to sort through a lot of dirt to find those valuable pieces.
Exactly. And I think we have found some gold in these papers.
Hmm.
One of the things that really jumped out at me is this emphasis on reliability, making sure that these AI systems are dependable, especially in situations where mistakes could have real consequences.
Right. And there are several papers that are addressing this directly. One in particular is exploring how to design systems that can function safely in unpredictable environments.
Mm.
Think about like a self-driving car that suddenly encounters an unexpected road closure,
Yeah.
or a medical AI system that has to handle a unique patient case.
So we're moving beyond just accuracy.
Hmm.
We need systems that can think on their feet and make good decisions, even when things get a little messy.
Exactly. It's about robustness, being able to handle the unexpected. And that actually ties into another big trend. We're seeing this push for greater transparency in AI decision-making.
Yeah, there were quite a few papers on that, making AI more explainable, especially in areas like healthcare or finance, where the stakes are so high.
It's not just about getting the right answer anymore. It's about understanding how the AI arrived at that answer, the why behind the decision, which is crucial for building trust.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And speaking of trust, I was reading about this issue of hallucinated translations in large language models.
Oh, yes. That's a tricky one. Basically, these models can sometimes generate outputs that are incorrect, but they do so with such a high degree of confidence that it can be very misleading.
Like the AI is bluffing.
In a way, yeah, it really highlights the need for thorough testing and careful monitoring, even with these very sophisticated models.
Definitely. And it makes you wonder what other quirks we might discover as these models continue to evolve.
Well, there's another paper that I thought was interesting. It explores the idea of introducing positive friction into dialogue systems to encourage more thoughtful responses.
Positive friction. I like that. What's that even mean?
It's about slowing down the AI's decision-making process, a little bit like encouraging it to pause and consider different perspectives before jumping to a conclusion.
So less impulsivity, more deliberation.
Precisely.
Yeah.
Making those AI systems a little bit more cautious in how they respond.
Now, we can't talk about AI research without mentioning the elephant in the room. Large language models. Seems like they're everywhere.
It's true. LLMs are dominating the research landscape right now, and we're seeing breakthroughs in so many areas, improving their efficiency, exploring new applications. It's really quite remarkable.
I saw a paper about using LLMs to generate realistic dialogue for chatbots.
Oh, yeah, I read that one too. And there's another one about using LLMs to write code.
Maybe we'll be replaced by AI hosts one day.
Who knows? It's certainly a possibility. But jokes aside, it's clear that LLMs are pushing the boundaries of what AI can do.
They are. But there are also some potential risks that we need to be aware of.
Definitely. One paper that I found particularly thought-provoking explored how malicious actors could potentially manipulate LLMs for their own purposes.
Like what?
Well, for example, they could use LLMs to generate phishing emails that are more convincing, or even use them to obfuscate code to hide malicious intent.
So it's a double-edged sword, incredible potential, but also the possibility for misuse.
Exactly. And that's why responsible development is so crucial. It's not just about building powerful AI, it's about building AI that is trustworthy and aligned with human values.
Okay, we've talked about AI, reliability, explainability, and the rise of LLMs. What other noteworthy trends did you pick up on?
Well, aside from LLMs, there's a lot of interesting research happening in computer vision. We're seeing advancements in object detection, image segmentation, even the analysis of 3D point cloud data.
I read a paper about using AI to detect pancreatic tumors from medical images.
Yeah, that's a great example. These algorithms can often pick up on subtle patterns that even trained human eyes might miss.
And that highlights AI's potential to revolutionize healthcare. Imagine AI systems that can analyze all sorts of medical data to provide earlier, more accurate diagnoses.
It's truly game-changing. And on the topic of data sets, there was a paper describing a new 3D point cloud data set for indoor environments.
Oh, yeah. I remember seeing that. What's so special about that?
Well, the quality and diversity of training data is crucial for developing robust AI models. And this new data set could be really valuable for creating AI systems that can navigate and interact with indoor spaces.
Like robots that can help us with chores around the house.
Exactly. Or augmented reality applications that can overlay information on our physical surroundings. The possibilities are endless.
It's really amazing to think about all the ways that AI is going to shape our lives.
And we haven't even touched on reinforcement learning yet.
Oh, right. Reinforcement learning, that's a powerful technique for training AI agents to make decisions in complex environments.
And there's a lot of exciting research happening in that area, too. I read a paper with a particularly catchy title, From Sparse to Dense: Toddler-Inspired Reward Transition in Goal-Oriented Reinforcement Learning.
Toddler-inspired. That's intriguing. What's that all about?
It explores how insights from child development can be used to improve AI algorithms. Basically, they're looking at how toddlers learn and trying to apply those principles to AI.
So AI researchers are taking inspiration from toddlers. Now, that's something I never thought I'd hear.
It highlights the interdisciplinary nature of AI research,
Oh.
drawing inspiration from fields like psychology, neuroscience, even child development to advance the field.
That's what makes this deep dive so fascinating. It's not just about lines of code and algorithms. It's about understanding intelligence itself, both
Ooh.
human and artificial.
Well said. And as we move forward, this understanding will be key to shaping the future of AI in a way that benefits humanity.
Okay, we've covered a lot of ground, but I feel like we've only just scratched the surface. There's
Oh.
so much more to unpack in these research papers.
Let's take a breath and then dive back in. Next, we'll explore how these research advancements are being applied to solve real-world problems in fields like healthcare, finance, and even art. Welcome back to our exploration of the cutting edge of AI research.
Yeah. It's amazing to think we've only just begun to scratch the surface.
I know, right? These 380 papers we're looking at, they're just a snapshot of the incredible amount of work happening in AI right now.
It's really mind-boggling. In the first part of our deep dive, we talked about some of those fundamental advancements in AI algorithms themselves.
Right. Things like more efficient learning methods, ways to make those AI models more robust, and the increasing importance of explainability.
Exactly. Now I think it's time to shift our focus a bit to the practical side of things. How is all of this research being applied to real-world problems?
Well, one area that immediately comes to mind is healthcare. We're seeing a surge in AI applications for diagnosing diseases, developing new treatments, even personalizing healthcare plans.
Yeah, we already touched on a paper about using federated learning to analyze medical data without compromising patient privacy. But what other examples caught your eye?
Let's see. There's this one study that focuses on making AI models more efficient for analyzing those complex 3D medical images.
So they're trying to make it possible to run these powerful algorithms on devices with limited processing power.
Exactly. Which could be a game changer for hospitals and clinics, especially in areas with limited resources.
That makes a lot of sense. Bringing the power of AI-assisted diagnosis to more people.
Right. And then there's another paper that really impressed me. It describes a system that combines different types of data, like images and text, to improve the diagnosis of pulmonary diseases.
Interesting. So it's not just looking at one piece of the puzzle, it's integrating information from multiple sources.
Exactly. It's a multimodal approach. And it makes sense the more information an AI has access to, the better its decisions can be.
Absolutely. And it seems like that multimodal approach is gaining a lot of traction in AI research.
It is. We see a similar approach in another paper focusing on brain tumor analysis. The researchers trained an AI to perform multiple tasks simultaneously, like segmentation detection and survival prediction.
So it's like giving the AI a more holistic view of the patient's condition.
Precisely. And it leads to more robust and accurate results.
That's fantastic. Now, beyond healthcare, are there other fields where AI is making a big impact?
Oh, absolutely. Finance is another hotbed of AI innovation. Remember that paper we talked about earlier on forecasting the S&P 500 using AI?
Of course. People are always looking for an edge in the market, so is AI the answer?
Well, it's definitely a powerful tool, especially for analyzing complex data like stock prices. But even with AI predicting the market is still incredibly difficult.
So maybe don't quit your day job just yet.
Probably not. But even if AI can't predict the future perfectly, it can still be incredibly useful for other financial tasks.
Like what?
Things like risk management, fraud detection, algorithmic trading.
So it's more about augmenting human capabilities than replacing human traders altogether.
Exactly. AI can help us make better decisions, but it's not a magic bullet.
Right. Now, what about other less obvious areas? Are there any surprising or unexpected places where AI is making a difference?
Well, one area that I find particularly interesting is the intersection of AI and art.
AI and art, that's an interesting combination.
It is. We're seeing AI being used to generate music, create paintings, even write poetry.
I have to admit, I'm a little skeptical about AI-generated art. Can it really be considered creative?
That's a great question. And it's one that's being debated right now. Some people argue that AI is simply mimicking human creativity, while others believe that it has the potential to generate genuinely novel and thought-provoking art.
So it seems like the definition of creativity itself is being challenged by these advancements.
Exactly. And that's one of the exciting things about this field. It constantly pushes us to reconsider our assumptions and explore new possibilities.
It does. Now, we've talked about AI in healthcare, finance, and art, but we can't ignore the broader societal impact of these technologies.
You're right. As AI becomes increasingly integrated into our lives, it's crucial to consider the ethical and societal implications.
So what are some of the key issues that researchers are grappling with in this area?
Well, one major concern is the potential for AI to exacerbate existing inequalities. If AI systems are trained on biased data, they can perpetuate and even amplify those biases in their decisions.
That's a really important point. We need to be very mindful of these potential biases as we develop and deploy these systems.
Absolutely. Another concern is the potential impact of AI on jobs.
Right. As AI becomes more capable, it could automate many tasks that are currently performed by humans.
Exactly. And that could lead to widespread unemployment.
It's a valid concern.
Yeah.
But some experts argue that AI will also create new jobs and opportunities, even as it disrupts existing ones.
That's true. It highlights the importance of education and training to prepare the workforce for the changing demands of the AI era.
So it's not just about the technology itself. It's about how we adapt and prepare for the changes that AI will bring.
Exactly. We need to be proactive in addressing these challenges, ensuring that AI is used to create a more equitable and prosperous society.
Well said. Now, before we move on, I want to circle back to those 380 research papers.
Sure, what about them?
Well, I noticed several papers focused on improving the efficiency and scalability of AI models. Like there's one that explores ways to accelerate the training of large language models using a technique called learn, focus, and review.
Ah, yes. That's a critical area of research. Training these massive models can be incredibly time-consuming and resource-intensive, so any advancements in efficiency can significantly accelerate the pace of AI development.
And there's another paper that looks at how to reduce the energy consumption of language models during fine-tuning.
Right. Sustainability is becoming a growing concern in the AI community. As these models get larger and more complex, it's essential to consider their environmental footprint.
Absolutely. And speaking of large language models, there was one paper that really caught my eye. It explores whether they can be used to obfuscate code.
Oh, that's an interesting application. Code obfuscation is often used to protect intellectual property or to make code more difficult to reverse engineer.
Exactly. It'll be interesting to see if LLMs can be effectively used for this purpose.
Agreed. And there's another paper that provides a really comprehensive review of research on large language models and code security.
So it seems like there's growing interest in exploring both the benefits and the risks of LLMs in the context of cybersecurity.
Definitely, LLMs have the potential to be powerful tools for both attack and defense in the cyber realm. So understanding their capabilities and limitations is absolutely crucial.
Wow. We've covered a lot of ground in this segment, from healthcare and finance to art and societal impact. We even delved into the world of large language models and their potential applications and risks.
It's been a whirlwind tour, but we're not done yet. There's still more to come.
Welcome back to the Deep Dive. Feels like we've been on this incredible journey through the world of AI research.
It really has been a whirlwind tour. We started by diving deep into those 380 research papers, exploring fundamental algorithms, practical applications, and even those big ethical questions surrounding AI.
Yeah. And now for our final act, I think it's time to look ahead. What's next for AI? What are the emerging trends that are going to shape the future of this field?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it? And after reading through all of this cutting-edge research, there are definitely a few things that stand out to me as potential game changers.
Okay, I'm all ears.
Yeah.
Give me your top picks for what's going to be huge in AI.
Well, one area that I'm particularly excited about is neuro-inspired AI. This is where researchers are taking inspiration from the human brain to design new AI architectures and algorithms.
Oh, like that paper on advancing the biological plausibility and efficacy of Hebbian convolutional neural networks.
Exactly. That's a great example. It's all about bridging the gap between how our brains learn and how AI systems learn.
And that could lead to some pretty remarkable advancements, right?
It could. Imagine AI systems that are more adaptable, more energy efficient, and capable of learning from fewer examples, just like we do.
That reminds me of another paper we saw, Nonlinear Dynamics of Localization in Neural Receptive Fields. It seemed like they were really trying to get inside the brain and understand how it processes information.
That's exactly right. It's all about understanding the brain's mechanisms for perception and learning, and then applying those insights to AI.
So potentially we could see AI systems that are more intuitive,
Yeah,
more human-like in how they interact with the world.
precisely. Now, another trend that I'm really interested in is the development of AI for scientific discovery.
Yeah, I saw a paper on that. Computing the gradients with respect to all parameters of a quantum neural network using a single circuit. It went a little over my head, I'll be honest.
It's definitely a complex topic, but
Yep.
essentially they're exploring how to use AI to accelerate research in quantum mechanics.
And that could have some pretty major implications, right?
Mhm. It could. It could revolutionize fields like materials, science, drug discovery, even our understanding of the universe itself.
It's amazing to think about the possibilities. AI could help us unlock some of the biggest mysteries out there.
And that's just the tip of the iceberg. We're only just beginning to scratch the surface of what AI can do for scientific discovery.
Okay, so we've got neuro-inspired AI and AI for scientific discovery. What else is on your radar?
Well, perhaps the most important trend, and this is something that we've touched on throughout our deep dive, is this increasing focus on responsible AI development.
Absolutely. We can't just focus on building powerful AI. We need to make sure that it's ethical, fair, and beneficial to society.
Exactly. It's not just about the technology itself, it's about how we use it and the impact it has on the world.
It's a huge responsibility,
I've said.
and it's going to take a lot of collaboration to get it right.
It will. It requires researchers, policymakers, and the public working together to ensure that AI is used for good.
Well said.
Yeah.
It's a challenge, but it's also an incredible opportunity to shape the future in a positive way.
Couldn't agree more. The future of AI is being written right now, and we all have a role to play in shaping it.
Well, that brings us to the end of our deep dive. I have to say, I'm feeling a little overwhelmed by all the incredible research happening in AI right now.
It is a lot to take in, but it's also incredibly exciting to be a part of this moment in history.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So a final thought for our listeners. Given everything we've discussed today, what role do you see AI playing in your own life or work in the coming years? And how can you contribute to shaping its development in a positive way? It's something to really think about. And until next time, stay curious.